All right, y'all. I haven't driven this thing since the last Autocross, to be honest. Let's see if it even starts. It's October. It's a little chilly. Like, who knows, man? Here we go. Nope. There you go. All right, babysit that idle for a little bit because we don't have a working choke. That weird ass light started coming on after I switched to like LED bulbs, so there's probably something going on there. I'm just gonna ignore it. We are lean as a mother, but eventually those numbers will settle down as soon as the car's warmed up. So let's back this baby out. It's been a while. Babysit it here for a couple of minutes. So this is the 6-month review on the bike carbs. We have a lot to talk about, but the plan is to just, you know, drive this thing, see if it even makes it to Home Depot. We'll find out shortly if it does, but it's fine. Like, while we're waiting for it to warm up here, this is a perfect time to talk about it. So bike carb conversion, number one is, if you're in a hurry to get somewhere, don't take that car that you're doing the bike carb conversion on, only cause, you know, you have to babysit the idle if you don't have a choke. Like, you know, it's not as efficient as, say, like a fuel injected car that, you know, has an ECU that like babysits all the parameters and stuff like that. So just something to keep in mind, right? It's a bit of an adjustment there. So you can see like the AFR is kind of settled down a little bit. Let's give it a couple blips here. Yep. Yeah, numbers look good, so we're good to drive. I'm gonna see you guys in a bit. Let's get to Home Depot. All right, y'all. We made it to Home Depot. Car's running well. AFRs are a little lean, obviously due to the weather. It's a little chillier now. Poles feel a bit better, but it gets like crazy lean, like seeing 16, 17 coming off throttle, which is fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. Which brings me to my second point. If you're gonna do this, you really need that AFR gauge that I have there by the steering wheel, if you can see it from here. Not only does it help you with your tuning, but you know, it also gives you that peace of mind, telling you that everything's okay, everything's fine, you're within your numbers and everything like that. So if you need more info on that, on like tuning and stuff, I have a video of that over here. All right, so right now on our way to the gym, reliability wise, would I trust it? Yeah, I mean, as you can see right now, I can daily drive this thing. It's October though, so it'll probably be the last month that I do. I can probably drive this until the first snowfall drops, to be honest. But do I trust it? Yeah, I trust it. Like right now, AFRs are normal. I've taken this to like Etobicoke from Whitby, which turns into like a 30 to an hour drive on the highway. Yeah, I mean, it's zippy around town. Throttle response is there. I mean, it's good. The only time I ever have trouble with it is like if I'm in a standstill and it's a hot day and like the carbs start cooking. But and it's only happened once or twice, not a lot. As soon as you get to moving, it's good. You can rev it out too, like rev it high, and it just, you know, kind of like refreshes the gas in those bowls. So I mean, do I trust it? Yeah, reliability score, maybe a 7 out of 10. I still wouldn't, like, you know, do this and have it be my only car. Only because with, like, bike carbs, it's always, like, a work in progress. It's never perfect. I feel like unless you take it to, like, a professional dude who, like, just has done this, like, for years, he'll be able to, like, just tune you perfect. But if you're DIYing it, it's all, there's always room for improvement. You're always gonna, you know, experience things through trial and error. And so you know, one moment you'll be fine and you'll think of something like, oh, maybe I can improve it by doing this, and then it actually is a detriment to the system that you had going on, and then you're down without a car for like a day or two, right? Trying to, you know, go a step back. So in that regard, I would say, you know, it's still best to not have a main car that's bike card, but have it as a second like project toy car, whatever, right? So but yeah, otherwise, like once you have it running and once you have like your AFRs figured out, you're tuned out pretty well, I mean, you can drive it for, I don't know, for as long as you can go, probably, until, like, you know, obviously nothing is going to be as reliable as OEM, right? That's just how the cars came from factory. It's tested, tried and true, right? What you did was you basically like hacked together some parts and put it together. So reliability standpoint is always going to be lower, but for me, the trade-off is like that old system Digi2, it just wasn't working for me, right? The reason why I did this was because like I was running into like so much stuff. That Digifont 2 is so reliant on so many factors. Like your grounds have to be perfect, your wiring has to be perfect, like everything has to be perfect, like no vacuum leaks, like they're so hard to, like it's like a billion things that you have to trace, right? And you overlook one thing, or like just the age of the system itself, right? Like you're talking about like a computer from like 30, 40 years ago now. So in that regard, I was like, you know what, it was worth it for me to go back to carbs. It's much simpler, like I could tune it myself. Wasn't hard to learn at all. I have videos on that. The playlist is up here, so if you're interested in that. For me, the trade-off was fine, but I had to realize that, like, look, my car now, it suffers in MPGs on the highway. It's not the best, but I'm sure I could tune that out if I spent more time. It's just gonna take me some time to get there, you know. Like right now, my highway cruise is AFRs of 12. Now the bike carbs also, I found it's very sensitive to any sort of incline. You'll see like it get richer by not just like 1 or 2 points, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Like I'll be cruising at like on the highway with like 15 AFR. All of a sudden a tough incline comes up and I'm like at a late 11 or 10 AFR. So, you know, just stuff like that, you know. But as long as you're within your parameters, you're not breaking the engine, you're fine, you know. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do enjoy it. Is it for everybody? I'm sure it's not for everyone. Like, you know, people are gonna be like, why'd you do that? Why didn't you just turbo it? Why didn't you just swap a 180? Like, yada yada yada. Like, I'm very pleased where I'm at now. Number one, it's decent. It was better than it ever was under Digi2. Number two, just the potential. Like this isn't even the ceiling yet. It pulled well at Autocross, man. If you guys haven't seen my Autocross videos, if you want to see like how it did there, I went to like, was it 3 or 4? I forget now, but I went to a couple Autocrosses. It held up, you know, it pulled strong, and it's not even at like it's optimal tune yet, you know. So I mean that should tell you something right there. Throttle response is off the chain. It's unlike, you know, how it was on Digi, because it's carbs, right? It's like put your foot down and you get all of it, right? So I mean, I like it. Like here we are, we just made it to the gym, so it just shows you like you can drive this thing around town. It's fine. Obviously, like do your due diligence. Unlike any OEM car where you can just drive it and forget it. Every once in a while, I check my couplers, make sure they're on there tight, no checking for leaks, all that stuff. But that just comes with, you know, knowing what you got into, right? You know what you have, so it just, you know, a little more upkeep. So just made it to the gym. It's gonna work out. I'm gonna show you guys the carbs. All right, guys, here we are. Yeah, so everything's still intact. 6 months later. Obviously, we've been through a few revisions just from the whole try and error thing that I was talking to you guys about earlier. But right now, yeah, 220 needles running at 3 psi. Learn from my mistakes, guys. Like, this is why I have this whole playlist ready for you. Go with high quality parts. If I could do it over, I would do everything AN and braided just to make it even more reliable. But yeah, this is it right here. So what do I mean by it needs a little more attention than per usual? OEM, you can expect it to just work. With this, you have to make sure that you're not experiencing any, like, you know, gas leaks. So it's good to check from time to time. All your connections are solid. it's important to check that your couplers aren't getting loose, so it's good to check that from time to time as well. They're not going to fail you. And you know, all sorts of different stuff. The carbs, I was lucky that my carbs seem to have been rebuilt. They don't need to be serviced for a while, but eventually I'll probably have to either rebuild them or go with a different setup. But for this car, I don't even drive it a lot, right? It's strictly like an autocross car at this point. I mean, I can still drive it to places, but you know, I haven't been inclined to as of late. But it's there for when I miss it, you know? So, yeah, what else is there to say? With a bike carb setup on your car, there's always room for improvement. As you can see, like, my choke hardware fell off, so that's just kind of dangling. I'll have to fix that. Right now, street AFRs are good, but highway isn't, so I was gonna play with like ducting air into here with like a velocity stack, so hopefully that might make a change, or not. Then we'll have to play with needles again and whatnot. So you know what I'm trying to say is, you don't want this as your only car, and you're gonna want to have time, lots of time to play around with these, because it's always trial and error. It's either like you make a step forward or you take 2 steps back when you change something. So just important to keep that in mind. You know, always double check your stuff, and that's really it, y'all. Was it worth it for me? Yes. Again, I'll say like it was worth it. I had more fun with the carb setup at Autocross than I did when it wasn't carb. Like I could feel what a 16 valve is supposed to feel like. I think I'm pretty close to squeezing everything I can out of these stock internals, carbed like this. So yeah, I'm very pleased. Also, it's just cool, man. Just look at it. You pop it at Autocross. People ask me like, it's not a G60, right? What is it? We're trying to figure out the sound. They see it. It's bike carbs. Like, oh, what the hell? You know. I guess it's more commonly known as ITB. So people have been referring to it at like Autocross or meets or whatnot. But just the sound, man, and the throttle response. I wouldn't go back to the old Digi2 system. This is just so much better. All right, guys, hopefully that review was helpful. Give this a like, comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to get back to you. As always, set yourselves apart, and until next time, peace.